River Nile leads in gold, exceeding 70% of the country's production. 13 civilians killed in Al-Ubayd by militia shelling. Danish Prime Minister says NATO could end if US takes over the Greenland. Hello and welcome. Prime Minister Dr. Kamel Idris affirms Sudan's commitment to strengthen cooperation with the Arab Red Crescent and the Red Cross societies and facilitate their work. This came during his meeting on Monday afternoon on the Secretary General of the Arab Red Crescent and the Red Cross societies. He explained that the visit reflects the organization's concerns for the humanitarian situation in the country. The meeting addressed the scale of the humanitarian crisis in Sudan and the increasing basic needs in all humanitarian sectors. Dr. Muhammad Al-Badawi Abdul Majid, governor of the River Nile State, met with the Minister of Minerals Noor Al-Daim Taha on Monday in the presence of Amir Ahmed Hassan, the State Minister of Finance. The minister praised River Nile State's significant cooperation in advancing the mining sector, noting that the state is leading producer of gold, accounting for over 70% of the country's output. He announced the establishment of the Comprehensive Research Center and laboratories with international standards in River Nile State. Governor Abdul Majid welcomed the establishment of the center in River Nile State, emphasizing the commitment to safe and stable mining operation. The Sudanese Doctor Networks announced the killing of 13 civilians, including 9 members of the same family, most of whom were children, after the Rapid Support Force RSF militia targeted Al-Jalabiya neighborhood in Al-Ubayd, North Kordofan state. In a statement, the network said that the incident is a serious crime, reflecting an escalating of the policy of indiscriminate killing and systematic shielding of safe residential areas with no regards for human life. The Sudanese Doctors Networks held the RSF militia fully responsible for the incident, calling on the international community and human rights organizations to take immediate actions and pressure the RSF to stop the repetitive violations against civilians. On Monday, the joint government accounts reported between the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Sudan concerning the implementation of the 2025 fiscal year budget was signed. Dr. Jibril Ibrahim, Minister of Finance, signed on behalf of the ministry, while Ms. Amina Merghani, Governor of the bank, signed on behalf of the bank. The report revealed that the government fulfilled all obligations related to supporting the war effort, paid full compensations to employees of federal government units, and support was provided for health, water, and food services for internally displaced persons. The government fulfilled its obligations to health sector and paid support to higher education, universities, and media organizations up to December 2025. The government also ensured the continued operation of federal units and humanitarian aid delivery. The director of the Unified Revenue Coalition Department in Red Sea State, Ahmed Abu Fatima, announced on Monday that the Council of Ministers, chaired by Governor Lieutenant General Mustafa Mohammed Noor, had approved the 2025 budget. He explained that the proposed revenues amount to 432 billion Sudanese pounds. The budget achieved a significant leap, with an increase exceeding 70% in state and tax revenues. He revealed that the development budget had increased from 50 billion pounds in previous years to 123 billion pounds, representing a growth rate of 148%. The Central Bank of Sudan announced the official launch of the acceleration clearing system for checks in local currency, effective Wednesday, January 7, 2026, after a hiatus of more than 2.5 years. The bank confirmed that the system reactivated followed the completion of all necessary technical and operational aspects. Lieutenant General Gamer Ad-Din Muhammad Fadl Al-Mawla, governor of the River Nile or the White Nile state, affirmed that the state's government's commitment to directing development toward rural areas and pledged that the development in all sectors will never stop. This came during his initiation today of the electricity supply to the village of Dura. The Khartoum State Land Protection and Violation Removal Authority removed encouragement in the Mayo area, clearing 6,676 violations. This was done in coordination with the Secretary General of the Khartoum State Government. This was announced by Abdul Aziz Abdullah, Director of the Land Protection and Violation Removal Authority, who explained the participation of various security forces. Israel Foreign Minister Gideon Sara is on a visit to Somaliland in East Africa, where he is due to meet the semi-autonomous region's president later on Tuesday, according to a senior Somaliland official. A second source confirmed that the foreign minister was in Somaliland without providing further details. The Israeli Foreign Ministry did not immediately respond when asked if the foreign minister was in Somaliland. Danish Prime Minister Frederiksen on Monday said that the U.S. takeover of Greenland would mean the end of the NATO military alliance. It comes after U.S. President Donald Trump renewed his calls for the large Arctic island, which is an autonomous territory of Denmark, to come under Washington's control. Frederiksen said that everything would stop when it comes to the cooperation with Washington in the event of U.S. attack on another NATO member. If the United States decides to attack another NATO country, then everything would stop. That includes NATO and therefore post-World War security. This was your today's news by Sniper TV. Thank you for watching. Until next time, goodbye.